This video is for everybody who has ever struggled with a cat that's having diarrhea. My name is Dr. Wooten, and I'm a small animal veterinarian, and in this video we're going to talk about the signs that your cat could have diarrhea and what to do with it. Number one is the most obvious. You find loose, runny stool in the litter box. So normally a cat's fecal poop should look like a nice little Tootsie Roll, nice and firm. But if they have diarrhea, then it's going to get more liquid. And diarrhea can be everything from it looks like soft serve ice cream to this is pure liquid and there's no poop in it. So diarrhea is in between those two. So if you look into that litter box and you see stool that is not as firm as it should be, that's diarrhea. It could be any color: green, brown, red, mucus. All of that is important information that your veterinarian will want to know. The number two sign that your cat could have diarrhea is that they are making more trips to the litter box than normal. So large bowel diarrhea, which is in the colon, causes increased urge. And so those cats will feel that they need to go. And so they'll run in there and then they'll run in there because the colon is spasming. So if you notice your cat's going in and out, in and out, in and out, and you look in there and you see some soft stool or you see some stool that looks a little weird, or even if you see constipated stool, did you know diarrhea and constipation can happen at the same time? That's a sign that your cat is having some gastrointestinal issues. Time to get them to the vet. The number three sign is that they're losing their house training. So your normally well-trained litter box using cat suddenly starts defecating on the bathroom mat. So that could indicate that they're having some gastrointestinal upset. So if your cat has lost their house training, could be a sign of diarrhea, talk to the vet. And number four, and this one could be good for people who have outdoor cats who don't know what their cats are doing when they go do their business, is if you notice that there's poop stuck to their bum. So, the cat walks around with their tail stuck straight up. And if you look back there and you're like, well, there's just more back there than there should be, could be a sign that your cat is having diarrhea. So say your cat does have diarrhea, now what do you do? Well, let's talk about first what not to do. So normally in dogs, if they're having diarrhea or vomiting, we will just pull their food for several hours, maybe for the rest of the day, maybe for a day or two, just to rest their gastrointestinal tract. We don't do that in cats because if cats don't eat on a regular basis, they develop liver disease. So if your cat is having diarrhea, continue to feed them. Don't stop feeding them. We don't want to fast cats. It's not something that is recommended on any level. So now that we know that, what should you do? So you do want to make sure that they have lots of access to water. Diarrhea is very dehydrating. So make sure they have free choice water, make sure they have a place to rest, make sure they have their own litter box and their own food bowls and all of that so that they're not being pestered by any other cats in the household while they're not feeling well. If you're noticing diarrhea for a day and it doesn't seem bloody or the cat doesn't seem overly sick, cat's still eating, cat's happy, and it's just some loose stool that looks brown but otherwise okay, you're not noticing any worms or anything like that, then what you're going to do is you're going to just put that cat on a bland diet for a couple of days, if they will let you. Remember, most dogs, this is super easy, but cats are picky and they may not like it if you change their food, but you can at least try. And what it means when you put a cat on a bland diet for a couple of days is that allows them to continue to take in the nutrition that they need, but also allows their gastrointestinal tract to rest. A best bland diet for a cat is boiled plain chicken breast with no skin and some white rice that is boiled with no seasoning, no butter, no nothing. About 75% meat, 25% rice. How long do you feed it? It depends. If you feed it and you notice that your cat's stool is getting better and they're still happy and healthy and all of that, then I would continue to feed it for several days, like 5 to 6 days after the stool has got back to normal. And the reason being is that even if you're seeing normal stool, that doesn't mean that the gastrointestinal tract has healed. It's probably not healed yet. So you want to continue with that bland diet until you see normal stool, and then you go another 5-6 days. And then you take 3 to 4 to 5 days to start mixing their regular food in to transition back onto their regular diet. Go really slow when you transition back onto their regular diet. And that's because abruptly changing their diet can cause diarrhea again, and it can cause them to feel sick. Another thing that's really nice to start if your cat is having any kind of diarrhea is to give them a probiotic. There is many products out there. I like the Guaranteed Life probiotics. I tend to be a fan of the Purina probiotics, but there are a lot of them out there. I would throw those in the food as well because those support the health of the gastrointestinal system by putting the good bacteria back in the system. The only other thing I would give this cat until they were feeling better is maybe some low sodium chicken broth to just encourage them to drink more because, again, dehydration is the main issue. What happens if they don't get better or if they're acting sicker? Well, you need to get a veterinarian involved. Me. So I would say if you feed your cat a bland diet and over the course of 24 hours of feeding them this bland diet, the diarrhea gets worse, or the cat starts vomiting, or you see worms, or you start to notice bloody diarrhea, then you call the veterinarian immediately and get the cat seen. Because diarrhea can be caused by many things in cats, everything from food poisoning to parasites to inflammatory bowel disease to GI carcinoma to so many things. Stress diarrhea. If you are noticing right from the get-go that the cat is acting sick and vomiting, or you notice worms, or you notice bloody diarrhea, or the cat's just hiding and not wanting to eat, don't mess around really with the bland diet. The bland diet is only for cats with mild diarrhea that are acting otherwise completely normal. The other thing you'll want to make sure is just to keep that litter box scooped as much as possible. Remember, cats are very fastidious about their toileting, hygiene, and if a cat's feeling ill, they're even more likely to not want to use it, especially if it's dirty, so make sure to keep it clean. So that's what I have on diarrhea. Mild cases where the cat's not sick in any other way, you can treat at home with a bland diet and some probiotics. Don't give any over-the-counter stomach medicines from Walmart or any other place. Don't give any prescription ones unless you've talked to your veterinarian. If the cat's acting sick in any way, the diarrhea doesn't get better, or it's bloody, or you see worms, or their cat's not eating, call your vet and get them seen as soon as possible. Make sure they stay hydrated, and then give yourself some care and love because you're the caregiver here, so you need to take care of yourself as well. Thank you so much for watching. I am Dr. Sarah Wooten. This is cats.com. I will be back soon with more content. If you like this, leave me a comment. If you want me to cover something, leave it in the comment section. If you have a story to share about diarrhea or anything, throw it in the comment section. I love the community here, and I will see you guys again soon.